Hi, I'm Suzie Dills, and I'm the director at the Hoover-Price Planetarium at the William McKinley Presidential Library Museum. And I want to welcome you to Astro Adventures for the week of April 22nd through the 28th. Well, first, I want to say today we are celebrating the 50th anniversary of Earth Day. So Earth Day is an annual event celebrated around the world to demonstrate support for environmental protection. So happy Earth Day, everybody. And also this week, we're in the midst of International Dark Sky Week. So we're celebrating dark skies. So that's going to go from the 19th through the 26th. And if you're looking for something to do or you want to watch some very informative videos, check out idsw.darksky.org. Check out their website. Like I said, lots of activities going on for International Dark Sky Week and also activities for the family. And speaking of dark skies, imagine a time several hundred years ago when there really was dark skies. People would head outside, they would gaze up at the stars, and in their imagination, they connected the stars and formed patterns. And from those patterns, they created pictures. And they named their pictures, and they told stories about their pictures to entertain their family and friends. But they also realized that these pictures were parts of certain seasons, so it helped them understand time. So they could use their pictures to understand when to plant, when to harvest, or when to prepare for winter. And one of our most familiar patterns, one that I'm sure most of you have seen in the night sky, the Big Dipper. Those 7 familiar stars that we see all year long. And by the way, the Big Dipper is not an official constellation. It's something we call an asterism. It's a pattern, but it's such a familiar pattern to us. And what's really special about the Big Dipper is you can see how through each season the position of the Big Dipper changes. So folks long ago would go out, they would check out the position of the Big Dipper, and that would help them understand the season that they were moving into. Check out the winter position. You see the Big Dipper swinging up there on its handle, and then in springtime, just like we've been talking about over the last few weeks, high in the sky overhead, pouring water out like the spring rains, and then swinging down in the summertime, and then hugging the horizon come autumn. And that was very important. And Native Americans that lived in our area here in Northeast Ohio would say in the fall the Big Dipper was scooping water up out of Lake Erie, and when it got high overhead in the spring, it would pour all that water out like the spring rain. But what's really fascinating is, once again, if you take those 2 stars at the end of the cup of the Big Dipper, those draw a line over to that star in the center there called Polaris, or the North Star. So no matter what season, those 2 stars are always pointing directly to the North Star. And through our April skies, as the Big Dipper heads up, once again, this is, you just draw the draw a line from the 2 pointer stars and you'll arrive at the North Star. And the North Star, although it's not the brightest star, it's our most important star. And because the northern axis of planet Earth points directly to that star, we spin under Polaris. So therefore, all the other stars are going to move across the sky as the Earth rotates during the night, except for the North Star. So we can check out the position here. So if you fix yourself on the star where the arrow is pointing, that's the North Star. But see how as the Earth rotates, all of our other stars are going to be changing position except for the North Star. So how important that was. So when people find the North Star, they know that's direction north. So when you're out, you're going to find the Big Dipper first. That's the easy pattern. Use your 2 stars at the end of the cup. Draw the line across to the North Star, and that's your directional star. But not only does the North Star help us with direction, it also helps us determine latitude position. So you can see the northern horizon here in this picture, and if I just draw a line up 41 degrees, that is where the North Star is located for us here in Northeast Ohio. So we're located at 41 degrees north latitude. So when you're out on another clear night, check out the position of the North Star. But the farther north you go, the higher in the sky the North Star would be. So by the time you get to the North Pole, it's directly overhead. And then if you were to travel south, the farther south you go, the lower in the northern sky it'll be. And by the time you get to the equator, it's going to be hugging the horizon. So what a great way for early explorers to navigate at night. They knew if they found the North Star, it would help them with direction, but also it would help them with latitude position. And this is kind of a fun activity. You can get out on the next clear night. Once again, you're going to locate the North Star, but you can actually measure distances in the night sky with just your hand. So check out the different measurements here. But look at when you're using your fist. So imagine if you make a fist, your fist represents 10 degrees in the sky. So get in a nice position, get nice and steady, and locate the horizon. And you're just going to start with, you're going to get your fist nice and steady on the horizon, and then you're just going to count out 10, 20, 30, 40, and see if you see the North Star. But that was an easy way to figure out distances in the night sky just by using your fingers, your fist. So give it a try. All right, I want to talk about a couple highlights coming up as we close out the month of April. I want to tell you about a lovely little cluster of stars. It is a constellation called Coma Berenice. I'll tell you a little story about this, and then I'll show you how to locate it. And it's one of those groups of stars you want to have a pair of binoculars because it is a beautiful sight to see. So, as the story goes, there was an ancient Egyptian queen, Berenice, and she feared for her husband's life as he went into battle. She prayed to Aphrodite, promising to cut off her long, luxurious curls if the king returned safely. And he did, and Berenice kept her promise and cut off her hair, placing it as a sacrifice on Aphrodite's altar. But the next day, the hair was gone. The king was enraged that the temple priests had not protected the precious locks. But a quick-thinking astronomer saved the day, or rather the night, by pointing to the cascading stars at the end of Leo's tail. He told the king that these were the queen's tresses, placed in the sky by Aphrodite for all to see. So, we're going to check out now how to find this lovely little cluster, Coma Berenice. So, I think you remember how to find Leo. We find the flat part of the Big Dipper. We draw that line across to the backwards question mark. So if you scan left of where you see the question mark, you're going to see the beautiful locks of Queen Bernice, Comer Bernice. So on the next starry night, locate Leo, scan to the left, and see if you can find the lovely locks. And then I'm just going to close out with a preview, and this is as we're looking eastward on a late April evening. We're just starting to see more and more of those spring constellations, but just to orientate again, east, so it would be opposite the direction of the sunset. You're going to look at a very bright star called Arcturus, and you're just going to make a little trek down from there to the left. You'll see a little semicircle of stars. We call this Corona Borealis, or the Northern Crown. You can see the picture there. And then if you just glide right off the crown, you're going to see a crooked square shape, or what we call a keystone shape. And that is the body of Hercules, our bravest and strongest hero of all. So you can see the pictures, the patterns, but this is what's going to be coming up as we're making our travel into the month of May. And then once again, if you check out the Facebook page for the McKinley Museum, you're going to see the star map for April. And also you can check out my starrytrails.com website. Also the checklist, if you haven't been able to complete this yet, we did have some cloudy nights last week. And then I have one other activity. We'll have this PDF included on the Facebook page, and also I will have it on my website. So this is something we call a Big Dipper clock. Once you get this put together, you're going to print out this page. The first thing you're going to do is you're going to cut out the circle. This is going to be your bottom circle where you see the months and the times. And then you're going to cut out the top part, the black section here, and you're going to cut out that little notch too. So you're going to just put these together. And if you're lucky enough, or you might have to improvise if you don't have one of these little fasteners at home, but maybe you can come up with another innovative idea to keep your wheel together, and just connect by connecting the fastener through the two holes in the center. And once you get that fastened together, you're going to have your wheel here. So you can see how you put the outer wheel and then put the inner one on top. But the directions are right on the bottom of the top wheel here. But what you're going to do is you're going to head outside. You're going to find whatever month it is. So we're going to say April, because we still got another week or so of April. So April will be on the top here. Then you're going to go out and you're going to find the Big Dipper, and you're just going to line up your wheel to the position of the Big Dipper, whatever position it is, and then you're just going to look where the little notch is here, and that's going to tell you what time it is. So it's a pretty cool thing to do. It's a lot of fun, but just construct your wheel and head on out. Like I said, your month is going to be on top. Find the position of the Big Dipper, align this part of the wheel up to that, and then it'll tell you what time here. But it's a great way to get out and enjoy a starry night, another activity to do. Once again, you can head over to the Facebook page for the museum, or you can visit my website, starrytrails.com. For activities, you'll find the Big Dipper clock. But imagine living long ago and using something like this to determine time. How simple. So that's it for our Astro Adventures for this week. Enjoy the starry skies. Head on out. Check out Stellarium. And just enjoy lots and lots of activities and fun under the starry skies. Thanks a lot. I'll see you next time.